Right, this video is just a quick update in a game that I've been working on. Some stuff I've got done in Unreal and have done it vaguely. Right, so in an early version, I got physics to work in the clothing, like this, and set up arrays in the clothing so that, where is it? You can change the different bits of clothing for the player and the different enemies. I've got physics working in this. And I've just done it by wherever. Importing the different bits of armour as separate skeletal meshes, setting them to the same skeleton as the base mesh of the character, but giving them different physics assets, and then setting them to simulate below a certain bone in the event graph. It's like Aztec bone chain A00, B00 is orphanus, and so on, is just for the skirt and the Aztec character. But there is a glitch where all the different skeletal meshes were getting out of sync because we're all using the same animation blueprint but for separate pieces. So to solve that problem, I had to, in a later version, use set master pose component so that all the skeletal meshes were using the main base mesh as the master pose. So that's solving that problem, but it stopped physics working because physics will only work on the master pose, like the parent mesh, after this is working. Some stuff that I've been working on recently is getting AI to work for the enemies in the game. One thing I noticed quickly was that the AI wasn't using any animations, and that's because in the animation blueprint originally I was cast into Ren Lau blueprint, which is the main character, and to fix that problem I made a base human blueprint which got generic stuff, and that's the parent blueprint. A child of that is the player, the Ren Lau character, and the enemy AI is another child. Right, in the behaviour tree, first of all it checks the health. If health is equal to or less than 25, that's pretty low. It's going to get a random point in the radius and move to it and just run away. That's the blueprints of this. It's getting the controlled pawn, so the character that the AI controls using gets location, get a random point in that radius, and set the value of random location in the behaviour tree to it, which is this key, random location, and it'll just move to it. If health is good and it can see the player, then it's just going to move to the player directly towards it. That's the blueprints in this. Just get the main character blueprint, get its location, well that's the goal, and it's where it's going to move to. And then it's going to check the distance between the enemy and the character by just getting the vector length of the main character and the controlled pawn which the AI is controlling. And if it's equal to or less than 200, so it's pretty close, it's going to set if it's close enough to be true, and if it's not, false. So then, once it's moved to the player, and if it's close enough, am I close enough to attack? Yeah, it's set, then it's just going to attack. It's just going to cast the blueprint, the AI one, call an event, called attack, and if it's not taking damage, this is called again to the parent blueprint, and it's just going to do once, do an attack. And for the different spells, I've set by default to metal, fire and ice for now, so it's just going to do a metal attack. So you can just see it working there in the background. Right, if the health is good and it can't see the player, but it just did, so it was just chasing me using this bit of behaviour, and then it lost me. It's just going to do confused search. I've got nothing in there at the moment, so I'm going to do just animation of the character looking around. So if you can't see the player but it's not seen him yet, or it's not seen him for a while, it's just going to patrol target points. So in the world, I've got 2 target points. I've referenced them in the level blueprints sent the information over to the game instance so I can get it in this task. It was getting the target points, getting whichever one it is, so 0, 1, 2, 3, I've only got 2 at the moment, and the key name, I've got patrol point 1, patrol point 2. It's getting a patrol point, and if it's the first one, it's going to be patrol point 1, second one, patrol point 2, and it's just setting a location of it, or getting a location of it, so it can use it. And then in the behaviour tree, I'm just reusing this get patrol point for what index 1, index 2. It's just going to move to it, wait, move to it, wait, and it does that in the start if the enemy doesn't see my character. And if he sees me, runs towards me and attack. I've got his health going down as well. For the skill tree, or skill triangle, which just changes whenever you press the right spell button. So using metal now, the purple's flashing. Using fire, fire's flashing. Ice is flashing. Made a skill triangle blueprint with the different images in the spell slots, and then what it does is cast of a character, gets the spell slots, which can be changed, but by default it's just metal, fire and ice, and then it'll initialize it at first and then we can play. Yep. So if I'm using metal in the metal slot, if I'm using metal in any slot, it's going to set the image to be a metal spell. If it's fire, it's going to set it to be fire, so on. And then when it's going to glow, I just update it again whenever it's being used. So I think that's in the parent blueprint. So yeah, just after it's been pressed, the button to use spell 1 or spell 2 or whatever, it's going to get in that slot and call an event to change the image to make it glow. And for now, all it does is, if it's metal, change it to metal glow, fire, fire glow, and so on. And that's how I go back to work.